Welcome back to the Unanswered. Today we're diving straight into what is undoubtedly modern aviation's greatest mystery, the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. In this explainer, we're cutting through the noise. We're going to strip away the speculation, skip the sensationalism, and just strictly follow the established facts, the hard evidence, and the massive search efforts underway right now in 2025 and 2026.
Good night, Malaysian 370. That chilling final radio transmission from the cockpit at 1:19 a.m. on March 8, 2014, that was the exact moment this incredible mystery began. And what's so crazy is that everything seemed totally, completely normal right up until those last words. It's what makes the events that immediately followed just so incredibly baffling.
So to separate fact from fiction, we're going to break this down logically. We'll start with the night it vanished, move into the radar and satellite evidence, look at the physical debris, cover the historic searches, and finally, look closely at the current 2025-2026 search. Let's get into it.
Part 1. The night it vanished. Okay, so the Boeing 777 takes off from Kuala Lumpur at 12:42 a.m. We get that final voice contact at 1:19, but then, just 2 minutes later, the transponder goes completely dark. The plane literally vanishes from civilian air traffic control. But here is a really critical, almost eerie piece of the puzzle. The Malaysian military radar actually kept watching. They tracked the plane turning left, crossing back over the Malay Peninsula, and heading out over the Andaman Sea until 2:14 a.m.
Part 2. Radar and satellite evidence. Now, because the transponder was completely turned off, investigators basically had zero traditional ways to track where this plane went. They had to rely on these automated SATCOM handshakes. You can kind of think of these as a simple electronic heartbeat. It's just a basic automatic log-on request between the aircraft's satellite system and an Inmarsat ground station.
The crucial point here is what these handful of handshakes actually tell us. The system recorded 7 of them, ending at 8:19 a.m. Malaysian time. This is huge because it definitively proves power to the SATCOM system was maintained and that the aircraft was actually airborne for more than 7 hours after it dropped off radar. On top of that, the official report noted that for the plane to fly that long on that trajectory, the autopilot was almost certainly still functioning in its basic modes.
And the ultimate result of all that complex electronic data, it's what we call the seventh arc. By crunching the precise timing and frequency data of those final satellite pings, mathematicians were able to generate this exact zone, way out in the remote southern Indian Ocean. This arc literally represents the mathematical line where the aircraft had to be when that final 7th handshake happened.
Part 3. The physical debris.
Now, for a really long time, the ocean yielded absolutely nothing, but eventually it did start giving up pieces of the jet. Out of 27 significant pieces of debris recovered by international agencies over the years, 3 were absolutely confirmed to be from MH370, and 7 more, they are considered almost certainly from the plane, which even includes items from the cabin interior.
Just look at where these pieces actually ended up. We're talking thousands of miles west of the 7th arc. Debris washed ashore all along the east coast of Africa, in places like Tanzania and South Africa, and on islands like Madagascar, Mauritius, and Reunion. This massive drift perfectly aligned with ocean current modeling, which essentially proved beyond a doubt that the aircraft went down in the immense expanse of the southern Indian Ocean. Those 3 confirmed pieces are vital to this investigation. We have the right flapper on, a section of the right outboard flap, and a section of the left outboard flap. And the damage analysis on these specific pieces is incredibly telling. Investigators determined that the damage on the right outboard flap strongly suggests it was actually in the retracted position at the time of impact. Think about that. It's a massive clue about the physical state of the aircraft when it finally hit the water.
Part 4. Historic search operations.
The sheer scale of the effort to find this plane is honestly hard to overstate. The initial government-led underwater search scanned an incredible 120,000 square kilometers before they suspended it in 2017. Then, a private marine robotics company called Ocean Infinity stepped in a year later. Over 90 days in 2018, using some heavily advanced underwater vehicles, they searched another 112,000 square kilometers. But despite these absolutely monumental efforts, the main wreckage stayed hidden.
Part 5. The 2025-2026 search.
Which brings us to the present. In March 2025, the Malaysian government officially signed a brand new agreement with Ocean Infinity. This detailed their commitment to search a new, highly targeted 15,000 square kilometer area in the southern Indian Ocean, and crucially, they are doing this entirely on a no-find, no-fee basis.
So, they split this new campaign into phases. Across 28 operational days spread over Phase 1 and Phase 2, the Armada ships managed to successfully survey just over half of this new target zone. That's 7,571 square kilometers to be exact. But, unfortunately, as of January 2026, no significant findings were reported.
And you have to remember, according to updates from the Ministry of Transport, conducting a deep-sea search in this remote part of the world is just punishing. The operations face frequent, incredibly severe disruptions from harsh weather and turbulent sea conditions. It takes an already difficult job and makes it immensely challenging.
Because of those massive logistical hurdles and just the sheer scale of the operation, the Malaysian government officially extended Ocean Infinity's contract by 1 full year, just a few months ago in June 2026.
Which means that right now, that leaves exactly 7,428 square kilometers of the designated search area left to be surveyed. It is quite literally the final remaining puzzle piece of the current target zone.
Now, this extension had to accommodate Ocean Infinity's other commercial commitments, meaning their primary assets had to be temporarily redeployed. But the ships are scheduled to return. The final sweep of this heavily targeted zone is set to happen in the window between November 2026 and April 2027.
So, as we watch this new search unfold over the coming months, we are left with one big final question. Will this very last sweep of the ocean floor finally bring answers to the families? Or will the fate of MH370 forever remain hidden in the deep?